Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The City of Toronto would like to thank Mr. Justice David Brown for upholding the City's Trespass to Property Act notice. That notice requires removal of tents and other structures in St. James Park and prohibits individuals from using the park from 12:01 a.m. to 5:30 a.m. We respectively ask Occupy Toronto and others occupying St. James Park for their cooperation and peacefully complying with that ruling. The city has worked to balance people's right to protest with public safety. However, this unauthorized use of a city park has interfered with the rights local residents have to enjoy their park and has negatively affected many businesses in the surrounding area. City parks are for residents to enjoy. There are bylaws that govern their use that must be respected. It is time this protest has come to an end. I'll now ask our City Manager, Joe Penichetti, to say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As Mayor Ford has indicated, we are very grateful that the Justice has upheld the city position. We are asking for protesters to cooperate and respect the court decision. It is our intent to facilitate this, as the Mayor said, in a peaceful and orderly fashion. As a result, protesters are required to remove all tents, shelters, or other structures. The city is willing to assist to ensure the safe and orderly removal of these materials, including coordination with the church. I would like to remind you that staff of several divisions, including Parks, Public Health, Fire, MLS, and Solid Waste, have visited the park regularly throughout the past 5 weeks to provide supports in the park. In addition, Shelter, Support, and Housing Administration staff will continue to be available to the at the Adelaide Women's Resource Center to assist anyone who may need assistance with shelter, housing, or other supports. The city extends its appreciation again to the court for its timely consideration of this matter. Thank you.
We've asked the protesters to leave as soon as possible, and we'd appreciate their cooperation.
What will you do if they don't leave there?
Again, I'm asking the protesters leave peacefully, and I'd like them to leave as soon as possible.
Another question over here.
Are you giving them a couple of days, though?
I'm going to reiterate what I said. I'd like them to leave as soon as possible. The judges made a ruling. I'd like them to obey the rules and the bylaws that the judge upheld.
At what point do you start enforcing those bylaws, though?
Again, I'm going to reiterate. I want them to leave as soon as possible.
Jamie?
We're live right now on CP24. Will you be asking police to step in or intervene?
Again, I'd like the protesters to leave peacefully and as soon as possible. I don't know how much clearer I can make myself. And
But just by saying
Jamie, go ahead.
okay. Well, I'm telling you, I'm asking the protesters to leave as soon as possible.
How about this?
Go ahead, Jamie.
When you say you're going to assist in taking the tents down, when will that process start? Will you go in today, for example, and assist them to remove their structures?
Our staff will be available starting immediately to assist the residents and those that are protesting there to move anything, a tent or other facilities. We will have our equipment available to assist them in any way that will facilitate, as the mayor said, moving as quickly as possible and peacefully.
So the mayor wants you to move as quickly as possible. Can you just lay out some timelines for people? You say you're going to help people move their tents. When do they have to move them by?
Again, as the mayor said, as soon as possible. We'd like them to move as quickly as possible. We'll facilitate that with our staff, and I hope that that can happen, in the fullness of time, meaning literally, as soon as possible. And it will be the cooperation of the protesters in order to facilitate the peaceful movement.
So what happens
Okay,
at
this is the
12:01
last
a.m.?
part- last
Because you have a
question.
city bylaw that says after 12:01 a.m. there can be no tents there. The courts now say you can enforce that bylaw. Will you enforce that bylaw at 12:01 a.m.? That's the microphone.
We're not going to make any judgment relative to 1201 at this point. We want to move quickly with the protesters during the day.
So what happens at 12:01 a.m.?
We're done.
We're not into a situation with a deadline of 1201. We want to move quickly and hopefully beat that time frame.
Okay,
Why did you
Mr.
try to
Panichetti,
topple
that
the
was the
bylaws
last
if
question.
you're not going
Go
to
ahead, Mr.
enforce them?
Thanks, guys.